Today is August 9th, 2022. It is 6:34 a.m. I just finished edit some videos, so I'm starting to get finish up with some of the things that I've already recorded for me to upload on YouTube. But yesterday on my IG post, very rarely I go there. I'm surprised I have 117 followers. I posted something. I post like an update on things that's gonna come on the channel and where my focus will be. So let me read what I wrote, because I wrote something also on my YouTube community board, but this one is slightly different. It tells a bit more. Okay, this is how I started. Good day all, Sussex squad. I hope you all are doing well and cooling off in this hot summer day. I posted an update on my YouTube community board. These are some of the thumbnails of the videos I have scheduled for you. So I put these, alright, so on my other channel, but this video is gonna be on my backup channel. Alright, one important point I want to make, which I did not mention on my YouTube post, is that on my backup channel, which is this one that this video will be on, I hope my new followers are aware of it, is that my next legal topic I will focus on is the lawsuit between the PGA and LIV players. Keep in mind, I am not in any shape or form a legal expert or in business of advising anyone about legal topics. With that being said, the reason I will cover this topic is the same reason I covered the Johnny Depp case, Megan's copyright case, and the Britney Spears to some extent, is that there is a fundamental problem here. With the golf lawsuit, what I see here is that Americans are destroying their own, how can I put this, culture, things that make people outside the US look up to us with envy, etc. We all may have our opinion about the PGA, ways of running its business, or making the bottom line. There's a lot of room for debate in this. So I'm not giving PGA any excuse at all. Okay? Keep that in mind. They have their own issues to deal with. Okay? There's like, I don't follow golf that much. Well, I don't follow golf at all. If Tiger Woods is playing or something like that, maybe I will check in. That's about it. I don't know anything about golf, with the exception occasionally my family goes to the driving range and hit some balls. That's it. Alright, I don't know anything about golf. Alright, but the PGA have its own issue. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's issues with women. They have some topic with women. I'm not 100% sure. Either women cannot be a member or some crap like that. So don't take my word for it, but there's some issues. Okay, the core issue here for me is to be able to be part of the PGA, you have to be one of the best. Okay, they don't just pick anybody out of nowhere. You have to prove yourself. Okay, I didn't mention of that because I was running out of character. Most of my thought process did not even finish on that post. Okay, you have to prove yourself to be at PGA standard or level. Every player so far, from my understanding, I can be wrong, the LIV, I think it's pronounced LIV. I thought it was abbreviation, but it's LIV, L-I-V, LIV. Okay, sign. Okay, every players that LIV sign are some of PGA's best. They were paid off to be there with LIV. No competition game was established to see if you were worthy to be there. This is very crucial because in sport you have to prove yourself to get that spot. Okay, it's a competition of the best. This is at sport level. It's not about race. Look at Tiger Woods or whatever, and some other players have played. Okay, it's not about race. As long you could prove yourself to be there. This is the point I wanted to make on this. Okay, at the end of the day, competition is what sport is all about. To grab some of the best PGA players, pay them millions to be there, then this is another crucial part here, then for some of these players who already signed contracts with PGA are suing PGA for violating their contracts with PGA. How is that make sense? This is where the problem is. Okay, they pay them millions. I'm pretty sure the money is good. Yes, it is good. There's two things here which I didn't mention on the post. We have the understanding. Look at the picture of this, for instance. There's World Trade Center in the back burning, and then this is what's that bridge? Brooklyn Bridge. Okay, there's a backing, there's a rumor. Well, Bin Laden, for instance, is a Saudi. Okay, this attachment, they could say the Bin Laden family or not, they had the outcast Bin Laden, Osama Bin Laden, and all of that. We could say all of that. But the principal aspect of that, knowing how many Americans died in our own soil, they were part of that. Their name was associated with that. And then for all of a sudden, to completely forget. Once they give you money, you forget about that. This is the thing that's ruining America. Money. I know we need money to survive, to do a lot of things, but our enemy, okay, not only when you look at how much you're paying for gas and everything, they're making you pay for gas, and at the same time, okay, they're paying you to destroy your own country. Okay, because in the battlefield, they cannot win. So they're taking the fight to you, just giving you money to destroy each other. I didn't say that on that post, but that was it. That was the main point of this. Okay, giving you money. Forget what happened in 9/11 2020 or 2001, not 2001, and then all of a sudden you forgot the attack. Okay, in my humble opinion, the same way the US politics is destroying itself with special interest groups, payoff politician is the same way we will be seeing everything else in the US that's supposed to be being diluted. Quality and prestige will no longer be in our corner. The schooling system already dismantled. No skilled people are being taught. Good quality products no longer produced in the US. Basic stuff are imported. Now, they are paying Americans to destroy our sports, in my humble opinion. That's it. This is why I'm following this. I want to see how this case is going to move forward. Okay, so now I'm going on Twitter. This was pretty much, I didn't want to create a brand new introduction or how I'm doing this. Since I already spent time, I probably will come back and edit this. You know what? Since I'm here, let's do it. Okay, I cannot find it, but I'll come back to that. All right, let's go on Twitter. So that was my introduction to why I'm covering the PGA kind of term of following golf. I don't know much about that. All right, so these are some tweets that I bookmarked for me to go over with you guys and share my thought on the issue. Okay, let's see here. Let me make sure I follow my list. I want to do it in the order that I have it on my list, but I don't want to go over it now. Okay, Live Golf Nation, this is them. Okay, according to the 11 Live Golf player lawsuit against the PGA, the tour threatened without basis to withhold players' vested retirement funds. Jay Mohammed is getting exposed. Okay, so this is them who's saying that. If you're going to tweet about this stuff, could you first learn the difference between the PGA and the PGA Tour, please? Thanks, that is all. All right, let's see. Why is there only 11 of 48 live players that are plaintiff in the lawsuit? Also, 48 of the PGA players went, and then only 11 that are suing. So I'm learning more as well. Why isn't Dustin Johnson, Kevin Na, Brendan Grace, Charles Schwartzel, Louis Olsen, and Sergio Garcia not part of this? If I'm not mistaken, Sergio Garcia is Spaniard. I could be wrong. I think he's Spaniard. Okay, not a part of the lawsuit. It is because they volunteered to give up their PGA Tour membership. Okay, that's the thing here. They know because they're probably gonna lose much more if the court system go with the PGA. Okay, there's a problem with that retirement. Is it there, or has it been used in some schemes that could potentially have some across the aisle connotation, basically buying back your own investment? Okay, if you vested in a retire, or they respond to that, no, that's someone else. and a retirement plan. The money belongs to you, period. Saudi Arabia and Craig Norman suing PGA Tour. Okay. Lawsuit was a big mistake. Many of Medal of Wood fans see it as a childish act, not a positive for your league. Alright, there's that. Okay. Stop your tour sucks. I mean, we cannot say that. I think they went the wrong way with that. Okay. I believe there should be competition. Okay. But the way they grab those top players from PGA, without PGA, those players' name will not be there for them to be bought like that from the Saudis. Okay, so as much, like I said, the PGA have a lot of room for debate. There is a lot of argument that could be made and way that they run their thing. But this one in particular, they the one who give those players the platform, and they have, from what I just read here, what is it? A contract. They volunteer to give their contract or something like that. There it is, this one. It is because they volunteer to give up their PGA Tour membership. Okay, so they give up their membership to be there. Without the PGA, their name, or I will not be able to know about what's his name, Tiger Woods, if he wasn't part of the PGA, or some other filmmakers and some other greats that I can't think of right now. Okay, so they put them in that pedestal to be there. And of course, let's not forget, their skills play a pivotal role in that. If they did not have the skill, they will not be at that level at all. They will not be well known. Okay, so for them to volunteer to give up their membership and then to cry foul when the PGA said they suspend them, how is that fair? This is the fine line here for me. You volunteer to do that, to give up, and then let's not also forget, PGA didn't say anything to them. Okay, this is your free will. You decided to leave PGA and play over there. Fine, that's fine, but you're not coming back. You suspended. So you can have it all both ways, or every other ways that you want it. Alright, so I'm done with this tweet. Let's go to the next one that I bookmark. Okay, let's see here. Now there's golf today. The PGA Tour has responded to the lawsuit filed by Live Golf. Okay, that's who's that? Damon Hack, Lucky Pop of Trip, Hub 2. Okay, I don't know who these people are, but they tag 2 people. Okay, and Jamie Diaz have more on what you need to know. All right, so 2 minutes and 46 seconds. I probably will have to stop in between so I don't get flagged.
We begin today with more news on the legal battle between the Live Golf Series and the PGA Tour. Today, the Tour responded to Taylor Gooch, Hudson Swafford, and Matt Jones, who are seeking to circumvent their suspensions for playing the Saudi-backed Live Golf events and participate in the upcoming FedEx Cup playoffs. The response to last week's antitrust lawsuit was filed in U.S. District Court for California's Northern District today, with a hearing for the temporary restraining order scheduled for tomorrow in San Jose, California at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. PGA Tour's response to the temporary restraining order plaintiffs highlighted right here. Despite knowing full well that they would breach tour regulations and be suspended for doing so, plaintiffs have joined competing golf league Live Golf, which has paid them tens and hundreds of millions of dollars in guaranteed money supplied by Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund to procure their breaches. The TRO.
There's the thing. They know they were breaching their own contract. If anything, this might backfire them, the players who suing PGA, because they have breached their contract. This is the thing. This might backfire the players very well, the ones who are suing. They might say, you breached the contract, so you're gonna have to pay PGA a certain amount of money. This is the thing. That's what I was aware of. Now that they're saying it, it makes this is exactly what I was thinking. All right, this is the specific part that I'm going with. And also, the Saudi Arabians know, they know how to destroy America. You give them money and let the American destroy itself. That's it. And then they send the background. All right, let's continue.
Plaintiffs have waited nearly 2 months to seek relief from the court, fabricating an emergency they now maintain requires immediate action.
You find it interesting in how much of the tour's rebuttal is using the words of Live Golf and the players against them, in a way that all of the braggadocio we've seen from Greg Norman about how, you know, he's got players lined up, that he almost has to close the gates here because so many guys want in, while on the other hand he wants to argue that irreparable harm is being caused by the league, or somehow this nascent upstart is being stomped out by the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour. It's kind of as though it's interesting that Monaghan and his crew at the PGA Tour seem to have said very little in public over the last year. The guys on the other side have said quite a lot in public, and now it seems to be turned against them when the legal filings come around.
It's a good tactic for the point you make, Eamon. If you're bragging then that things are going so great and people are waiting in line to join, how are you suffering irreparable harm? It's a contradiction, and I think it's a good tactic. I think, you know, some people have questioned whether Jay Monahan and the PGA Tour have been vocal enough in these interim months, but I think they believe they have a good, strong case that will hold up in court, and would rather not air it in public at the perhaps, you know, detriment of that case, because as soon as you start saying a lot, you can certainly help your opponent, but you can also say the wrong thing and make a mistake. So I think they want to.
That's definitely that. That's definitely that. And I think the PGA might win that case.
Keep it in that vacuum of the legal issue, and I think they feel they have a strong case. Some people feel that the TRO sort of barrier or bar is lower, and that it's not a big deal to get a TRO. I still think if you're trying to prove irreparable harm in an emergency situation, I think that's a pretty high bar considering what Liv's case is.
I'm a bit confused with who he's making certain reference to, but some of the things that he said, I hope he's aligning with the way that I'm thinking, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, so that was it with the video. Let's see here. Finally, the court are going to decide this and not the golf media. Okay. If you win a live event, do you have right to be buried on a golf course near you whose wife when you die? Okay, if it says 45 a dime, he will grab a shovel, piss on a live tour. And the thing is that these people, the freedom that they have to sue, can you imagine if they go to Saudi Arabia? You think they have the right to do that? No, you're not gonna have the right. This is the fundamental of things many of Americans don't understand, and this is very sad. This has to go way back into schooling, especially how we see they're preventing people from learning certain things. They're destroying the school system, preventing Americans from knowing their own foundation, and then this is how you're destroying it. And this is how you see how they're paying. Special interest is paying politicians to make all these destructions. And it's very sad that this thing goes all around. Okay, we have American who's electing those politicians who is more than happy to avoid the people's voice and then just focus on who's paying them the money. And this is why many people were against how do you call this, special interests to pay politicians and stuff like that. And I think we should bring back that narrative to stop all this money that's being funneling into politicians' pockets, because the voice of American people are not being heard. And then at the same time, this is the circle of things. Many Americans are fully aware of this circle of BS, yet they're still electing people who are more than happy to avoid their voices. I hope you understand my point of view here. All right, let's listen. Next tweet. Augusta National launch anti-live golf campaign before 2022 Masters lawsuit alleges. All right, so there's that. Hypocrisy at its best. How long for black golfers to play in the Masters? Isn't Tiger Woods playing? Tiger Woods have won many green jackets and stuff. I mean, this is why I said maybe I'm missing something with what he meant by that, but let's see here. Okay, how long for women members? This I'm aware. Okay, this is why I also said there's a lot of room for debate on with the PGA. All of this, there's a lot of room to be discussed here. Okay, how about a black honorary starter? Now they ban Live Golf and what is that? Let's see. Live Golf. Okay, that's the way they put their name on Twitter. Wrong. Okay. All right. Let me read that article and see what happened. I may not read all of it. All right. It's very long. Yeah, it's very long, but I'll read some of it. The link will be in the description for you guys. All right. Let's see here. When Augusta National Chairman Fred Ridley was asked about the rise of rival golf leagues in a press conference at the 2022 Masters, he did not exactly take out his flamethrower. Quote, "What is your stance on that?" SI.com's Bob Herrig asked Ridley about the threat of upstart tour, the most prominent of which at the point was Live Golf, which had announced an 8-tournament schedule for 2022, if not yet signees. Quote, "Have you spoken to any players about their possible involvement in those leagues? Will you be opposed to that? And could it even preclude them from being invited here if they were to go down that road?" All right. Ridley responds in full, quote, "I will start by saying that our mission is always to act in the best interest of the game in whatever form that may take." All right. I think that golf in a good place right now. All right. The thing that I'm for when it comes to live tournament or league, whatever it may be, okay, the Saudi thing here, I'm not. It's the way they're grabbing the player that's my problem, okay, and the lack of decency and understanding of the players to quickly give up, waive their membership with PGA to go over there. But the problem with live tournament is that they just grab people. All right, there's no competition to see if you meet their standard. There is no standard of best. All right, they went straight to the top from PGA. All right, grab them, but what is their standard? It seems like I'll give you money to just come and play. All right, so now what some of American needs to do is pay attention. Who is, besides the Saudi, okay, we know they're sponsoring that. Are there any American companies who's gonna sponsor that? Who's gonna sponsor them? These are the one we need to look at. All right, and then hit them in their pockets. Okay, there's more participation. Purses on the professional tour are the highest they have ever been. Clubs and courses, I think, are in healthy financial positions. Quote, "You know, the youth that are emerging at a competitive level." This is the thing here, competitive. This is what sport is all about, competition. But live does not give any competition. They just throw a bunch of money on you. Don't get me wrong. Yes, money is good. Money is very good to live a comfortable life. But what about the game? Which is the quality of PGA, which I heard him said something here is about competition or something like that. I read it somewhere in one of the paragraphs here. All right, their main focus is the sports, something like that, somewhere here. All right, you know, the youth are emerging at a competitive level is just amazing. I mean, the top 4 players in the world are under 30. I think 7 of the top 10 are under 30. All right, what Liv should have done if they wanted respect from good golf, well, I don't know if they will ever get any respect, especially after 9/11, is how do you call this, start tracking players at high school or what do you call this, they have a not professional level where they at the lower level where, how do they call this, you know how they track basketball players at high school level and then in college, those prominent players, okay, who have potential of making it big. This is where they should have started, not go straight from the top where PGA have already did all the hard work for them. Let's not forget also the players have to show their skills. They have the skills to be there, but in terms of the profession, in terms of the perspective of PGA and life, this kind of thing, that's what I mean by that. Okay, okay, I just read this. We have been pretty clear in our belief that the World Tour have done a great job in promoting the game over the years. Beyond that, there's so much that we don't know about what might happen or could happen that I just don't think, Bob, I could say much more beyond that. Okay, but according to allegations in the complaint filed earlier this week by 11 Live Golf signees, Ridley in fact could have said more, because by the point in early April, the suit alleged Augusta National wasn't only keenly aware of the threat that Live Golf posted to the PGA Tour, but the club also had already taken significant action to try to thwart the fledgling league. In fact, I mean, what do you expect? You have a competition. I mean, right now I will say at that time they were the monopoly. They were, I guess, the prestige, the only prestige there. But when in terms of quality, we need to see what Live Golf have to show. But right now, from the start, they're not showing any quality. All right, they're just throwing money out there. There's no quality of there. All right, where there was a competition to see if you're worthy to participate, this kind of thing. They just flush people with money and say come and play. All right, in February, the complaint alleged, quote, Augusta National representative threatened to disinvite players from the Masters if they join Live Golf. Okay, they're letting them know, if you participate, hey, don't come back here. All right, they have to hold their standard. All right. In addition, Augusta National Chairman Fred Ridley personally instructed a number of participants in the 2022 Masters not to play in the Live Golf Invitational Series. Plainly, these threats to top players serve no beneficial purpose, as they will only serve to weaken the field in the Masters. Okay, well, at least they give you the warning. All right, the complaint doesn't say which players Augusta National allegedly threatened, but three-time Masters winner Phil Mickelson seemingly wasn't one of them. Okay, by Masters week, Mickelson hadn't yet publicly stated his intentions to sign with Live Golf, but he was presumed to be on the Live short list and also embroiled in controversy. Okay, that's interesting, for having revealed his plan to use Live to gain leverage on the PGA Tour. This is the thing, they want to play all corners. The fallout from those comments led to Mickelson taking leave from the PGA Tour. Alright, when asked, I think I share it in my other channels. I think that's what they're mentioning. Okay, when asked about Mickelson absent at the 2022 Masters, Ridley said in that same Masters week press conference that the club did not disinvite Phil. Phil reached out to me, I think it was in late February, that's in quote by the way, early March, and let me know that he did not intend to play, Riley said. And he continued, that was by way of text, and I thanked him for his courtesy and letting me know. I told him that we certainly appreciate that, and told him that I was certainly willing to discuss that further with him if he'd like, and he thanked me, and we had a very cordial exchange. Alright, so it's two texts, so he could back it up. Had Mickelson not voluntarily withdrawn from a tournament, would he have been disinvited? It's a reasonable question to ask, but also not one which Augusta National seem willing to answer. Yep, they are in a lawsuit right now, so anything they say can be used against them, so it's best for them to shut their mouth. Okay, the club did not respond to a request for comment either in relation to that question or other specific queries about the allegations cited in the suit. Another reasonable question to ponder, especially in light of Augusta National's alleged Live offensive, is why Mickelson turned up to the first Live Golf event in London wearing a vest emblazoned with an Augusta National logo. Was it a not so subtle jab at the club? That is, of course, not a question for Augusta National, but for Mickelson. Okay, so is this okay? So he purposely did that. They want to play all side. Let me see this. Okay, let me look at the picture. So this is the symbol. Put it in dark. Wow, I wasn't even aware of this. Very interesting. Okay. Alright, so I'll leave the link for you guys to let's see here. Is that a comment? Okay, as a golf.com executive editor, Bastable is responsible for editorial. Okay, that's something different. All right, so I was here. Should I finish? Okay, if Riley was open to talk with Nicholson as Liv was coming to fruition, the chairman was not interested in engaging with Liv Golf CEO Craig Norman, according to the complaint. The complaint alleged that when Norman asked Ridley for a meeting so Norman could explain Liv Golf's business model and discuss how Liv Golf could operate in the existing or professional golf world, Mr. Riley declined the invitation. Another example of Liv Golf trying to work with existing golf entities and being turned away before even getting to show them what Liv Golf is all about. Guess what? Nobody is preventing anybody from doing anything. But you cannot expect. It's like I said, it's a competition. It's like two businesses. All right, you want to do your thing, but meanwhile let the other one do its thing. They don't want to know how you doing things, and then for you to copy his thing, this is where infringement, certain things will come into play. So why discuss anything with them? You want to do golf, do your thing. I don't see PGA is preventing Liv Golf from doing its thing. Okay, so the players wants to go, they let them go. I didn't see PGA suing those players for going over there. If PGA have done that, then I will have a problem with it. All right, they have the right to do as they please. But the only problem also come into play with those players. They have I don't know, whatever contract they have with PGA. I don't know, did they break it? This is where the court thing will get down to. Did those players break their rules? And there's a possibility those players may have to pay PGA some money. Alright, so they better be careful with that. Alright, even after the Masters concluded, the complaint alleged Augusta National continued trying to influence players' decision about signing with Liv. Soon after Liv announced the field for its first event, the PGA Tour Player Advisory Council held an emergency meeting at which Augusta National representatives were in attendance. The suit alleges, all right, this is why they don't want to have any interaction with you guys, because you're gonna use things against them. So why have any interaction? Okay, they informed the golfers in attendance that the PGA Tour and Augusta National had agreed to work together to address Liv Golf. As described above, the threat of exclusion from the Masters, there it is, they're letting them know, all right, and the other majors is a powerful weapon in the tour's arsenal to deter players from joining Liv Golf. They have to protect their interests, but they're not stopping you. That's the thing. They're letting it be known, but yet they're not stopping you. You have a choice to make. Okay, if that claim is true, it's significant because Augusta National has not publicly admonished or distanced itself from Liv Golf, at least not with unequivocal language. If the club has been working as closely with the PGA Tour as the suit alleges, it will suggest that Augusta National might be willing to ban or disinvite contracted Liv players from participating in the 2023 Masters. They have to protect their interests. Okay, thus far, a half-dozen green jacket winners, Mickelson, Sergio Garcia, Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed, Charles Schwartzel, and Bubba Watson have signed with Liv. They have a choice. Okay, and who knows how many more might follow. Excluding that group from next year's tournament will be a loss not only for the players but also for fans and the law and charm of the tournament itself. This is what competition is. But each entities have to hold their ground. Okay, arguably the only winner will be Scotty Scheffler, who will escape with one of the lightest champion dinner bills in recent memory. As for Liv players who aren't past master champions, they will need to qualify to their world ranking status. Okay, that increasingly becoming an issue for those players, given Liv has not yet been accredited by the official world golf ranking. That's the thing, they haven't proved themselves yet, but they're throwing all that money to all those players. The quality of them I don't see it. I'm not even a golfer or follow golf. I already saw that. In sport, there have to be quality. Did any of those players actually sign, or was there a competition to see if they're worthy to be there? All right, throwing money doesn't equal quality. All right, Live applied for accreditation on July 6th, but the process can take up to 2 years, meaning masters hopefuls and collecting Live paychecks theoretically could be shut out of golf's most prestigious invitational until 2024. Oh, and for what it's worth, yes, Augusta National also has juice at the OWGR. The Buzzy Johnson, the Master Senior Director, holding a seat on the OWGRS governing board. Okay, so I'm assuming this, I'm not sure. This is the one that give them, okay, oh, okay, so it means official, okay, world golf ranking. Okay, so they the one who give them the credential. So they the one who give them the credential. Okay, they better really pay close attention to those board members. Are they getting paid from Saudi to get that? Okay, this is the thing here, because the Saudi have tons and limitless amount of money to buy people out, and then at the end of the day is the eyes of spectators. All right, do you support this kind of things? Okay, Augusta National plays only a small role in the 105-page complaint from the Live players, but the allegation within provide rare insight into the club's outsized influence in the upper rugs of the game, and did even Live merchandising effort were indirectly impacted by Augusta National, the complaint alleged. Hey, again, this is competition. Why will they promote Live's merchandising? I'm pretty sure Live is not gonna promote PGA. They grab their players, so this is the competition. Okay, Live Golf tried to order custom hats through American Needle Hat Company, the suit read, and American Needle informed Live Golf that it does not want to do business with Live Golf because of its relationship with PGA Tour and Augusta National. I don't know. They have a contract. This is the thing. When you have a contract, you have to stay with your, obliged to your standard. And then this is the thing. The Saudis are going where it hurts American. Okay, how did they know this aren't other companies who could make those hats? Also, why did they have to go there? This is where they're causing problem. Okay, I'm pretty sure there are other companies who could make those hats for them, but they go to the one that have contract with PGA. They want to destroy PGA, the foundation, the prestige of things. And this is what's said with the some of the players who quickly ignore the contract they have with PGA. Alright, so there's no comment in here. I read this. Let me go to the next tweet that I have. I don't know when I'm gonna edit this, but I just want to record before the kids get up. All right, it's already 7:13. Okay, Live Golf lawsuit shatters friendly facade among PGA Tour players. Now it's personal. Very interesting. Let's see here. Let's go into here again. I'll leave the link in the description. I may not read it all. I read all the other one, but okay, it's not that long. Okay, now it's personal. Alright, by Iman Lynch. If evidence is required of just how fraud emotion have become in the battle between the PGA Tour and Live Golf, or more accurately between tour players and Live pasty plaintiff, then consider the example of Davis Love III throughout his almost 40 years career. Love has been the epitome of genteel professional golfer, unfailingly polite toward colleagues, and so buttoned down that his idea of a revolutionary act is wearing pants off khaki hue. Suddenly, the establishment's ideal of a company man has morphed into Davis Le Rouge on, I think rouge is the word for red in French. Davis Le Rouge, Ocasio-Cortez and Ralph Lauren pinstripe, encouraging boycotts from a constituency that usually only cares about slow play and high taxes, while insisting that no Live players will darken the door of his President Cup team room, even if declared eligible by faith of the court. Okay, and he's not even the angriest guy out there. Alright, so that's that. Finally, we've reached the inevitable point at which the PGA Tour carefully constructed tapestry of collegiality comes apart at the seams. That image was always less organic than enforced, with disciplined action against players who spoke ill publicly of fellow members. The intent was to create a commercially attractive impression of golf as being free of jerks, cheats, cokeheads, wife beaters, and other blackguards. All of this, I know some players who've done this. The facade held through the early defection to live as Tour loyalists insist they remain friends with the departed, but in the wake of Wednesday's legal filings by LIV players, one injunction request that will force 3 of them into the PGA Tour's FedEx Cup playoffs, the other antitrust claim that challenges the Tour's supposed monopoly. The fissures are expanding rapidly. Their vision is cherry-picking what event they want to play on the PGA Tour. Obviously, that will be the higher world-ranking event and bigger purses, said a visibly irked Billy Horschel. It's frustrating. They made a decision to leave and they should go follow their employer. That's why I know there are guys a lot more angry and frustrated about it than me. Alright, quote, what they're doing by going over there is detrimental to our tour. Hey, they made the choice. Okay, you can't have it both ways. This is the thing that I see as well, said Will Zalatoris. A lot of guys will be pretty frustrated if they're allowed to do both. That's right. Please stay away in your fantasy land, tweeted Joel Dahmen. The increasing fractiousness is unsurprising. It's tough to remain pal with the roommate who moved to a sumptuous new mansion but returned to burglarize and then touch the house you're still living in. That's a good analogy. Like most lawsuits, LIV antitrust claim has its share of colorful allegation, conjecture, and hearsay, much of which tends to wither or adjust when oaths are eventually administered. That's why, while it was a feast for clickbait editors, the sour aftertaste of its 100 ad pages hints at plaintiffs who are intent not on coexisting with the system, but rather dismantling it and reshaping golf to their benefit. Thank you. I was about to stop reading this, but this is what I'm seeing here. That's what I'm seeing here. To reshape it, and they want to benefit from it as well. LIV's compilation of conspiracy theories indicts everyone from PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan to Augusta National Chairman Fred Radley and allege a concerted effort by Gulf powers that be to erect unfair barriers that prevent the rival leagues from gaining a foothold. It's an audacious claim from an operation that has already spent north of $1 billion establishing itself. This is what I'm saying. They're just throwing money there just to be there. Okay, and whose CEO say has another couple billion on tap for obvious reason. LIV's attorneys, invoice bound for wire, disregard the possibility that reasonable people might conclude independently of each other and without anti-competitive motivation. There's the thing again. Competition. This is a sport. There has to be competition. Alright? That it's a bad idea to have elite golf owned by a regime that beheads its critics and threat human rights as inconveniences. That's the thing here. Wait until these players start having issues with the league, LIV. Wait until they start having issues with their players. What are they gonna do? What you gonna do? You're not gonna have the PGA backing you up, because there you are right at the beginning. You're starting to burn bridges. This is what I see here. And there's a specific reason why I'm not covering Britney's imprisonment in Russia. There's a reason why. I'm aware of it. There's a reason why I'm not covering it. It's political. Alright? You know how I usually insert my humble opinion. Alright? I do not want to say things to hurt her imprisonment further. Just to give you a heads up. Okay? I'm fully aware of the situation. I purposely did not cover it because right now it is just political. There is a war going on.
I want to make sure we connect some dots here, though, because Brittany Griner was arrested on February 17th. 1 week later, Russia invades Ukraine. On March 16th, President Biden labels Vladimir Putin a war criminal. Then the very next day, Russia decides it's going to hold Brittany Griner 3 more months before her hearing. Kimberly, could it be any clearer that this is about Ukraine? You say that it illustrates that Russia is, just fine being a pariah. Tell us more about that.
Thank you so much for connecting the dots. I've been saying this since the news broke about Brittany's detainment, this is connected to the war in Ukraine. I have no doubt that a week before Russia invaded Ukraine for the second time, Russia did not know that it was going to do that. So when we think about Brittany's case, and I have to emphasize this because there are earlier cases other people have mentioned on social media of other Americans who've been, tried or who have been caught doing the same thing, who haven't gotten as much prison time or got no prison time. Brittany Griner is in the position she's in because she's worth to Russia a very large amount, particularly when Russia is, getting attacked. I mean, their offensive aren't as, good because we're supplying Ukraine with HIMARS. The United States is one of the biggest financial military aid supporters of the Ukrainian war effort. And so now that they have Brittany Griner, they have this American asset, probably the largest and most important American asset they've had in a long time. They're clearly using her either as leverage to get Victor Bout out of prison because they didn't have the leverage before to get him out of prison, or to continue to sow discord into the United States and possibly undermine our efforts to support Ukraine. But either way, either side is going to help Russia. So we have to think about this strategically and understand that her case has always been tied to this war.
Kimberly, what do you think people are missing here, right? You're a Russian historian. What do you think folks really need to know?
I think the clearest thing I could say is that Brittany Griner, Paul Whelan, Trevor Reed, Mark Vogel, all of them are in a geopolitical hornet's nest. And I emphasize that because what we're seeing here is how Russia has and has continued to use Americans in a form of hostage diplomacy. But now they're at the negotiation table, and this is the most leverage they've ever had. So I think a key thing Americans need to remind themselves of is patience. Brittany Griner is being held by Russia, not by the Biden administration. Putin has the cards, and it's up to him to decide how he's going to play them, and we just have to wait. And it's scary, but that's the situation.
Okay, America is at war. They don't even know it. Look at the Saudi is attacking the PGA, our infrastructures in some shape or form, and then they're paying American to destroy it for them. This is what I'm saying. Okay, let's continue with this article. The PGA Tour will counter that there's a difference between hurting a potential competitor and not helping that competitor, that it is justified in refusing to allow its more permanent platform, tournaments, and assets be used by LIV to build a business. With 11 plaintiffs, the discovery process alone will be lengthy and revelatory, with unflattering details likely to emerge about both the tour's secretive handling of discipline and LIV's grubby financials, none of which will smooth relations between opposing players who face a court-ordered crossing of paths on the tee. That definitely is. Okay, there's a strong chance that California's Northern District will grant the injunction sought by Taylor Gooch, Hudson Swafford, and Matt Jones that will allow them to compete in the FedEx Cup playoff. Judges have broad discretion in deciding on matters of equity as opposed to matter of law, and are often minded to allow athletes to compete while related arguments are litigated. Okay, I see what they're saying here. While the judge might let those players play in that tournament while the lawsuit is going. I see what they're saying here. Okay, the injunction will be decided in days. The antitrust claim in years among tour players. Both are being interpreted as provocative acts by guys who took the Saudi cash but now wish to dip into their purse too. Yeah, double dipping. Yeah, I see that too. All right, and it's much okay. The Saudis have a better interest. Their interest is not about golf. They really don't care about golf. All right, they see a way of destroying something that is very well established. So they're throwing their money at it. How much? Let's do a small. Well, I'm not gonna do the math, but just question of things. how much a war costs. Okay, not only lives, but money spent for artilleries and materials and all of that, and to upkeep the soldiers. How much a war costs. And then some military guys don't even come back alive. Okay, the cost of war. Now you have the Saudis who's throwing cash like this. This is a small investment for them. Okay, this is a small investment for them to start destroying everything that America has. Remember what I said at the beginning, my IG post. All right, and I elaborate a little bit more in this video, not just what I wrote. Okay, the eventual outcome of the PGA Tour versus Live Golf is decidedly unclear, regardless of the confident proclamation by social media's constitutional scholars turned epidemiologists come antitrust litigators. The only certain is that lawyers will earn more than many members of either tour. That's for sure. That won't mean much to the plaintiff for Live, who are being bankrolled by a foreign government and have no personal skin in the game. That's the thing. I was right. Other people see it too. Personal skin in the game save the reputation they have already squandered. It's considerably more personal for those on the other side who will ultimately cover the PGA Tour's costs and defending itself, a sentiment that will only soar further if a precedent is established that permits Live players to compete in the PGA Tour events as the antitrust case winds its way through the courts. Craig Norman's vow to reshape golf, he's already accomplished that in the locker room, though sadly he has remade things in his own resentful, discordant image. Life on tour won't be the same again, not even for those few remaining players who still fancy themselves in the mold of a pre-radicalized Davis Love III. Okay, so I see the same thing that's going on here. All right, let's go back to Twitter. Let's see some of the comments. I may not read all. I'm almost an hour here. Okay, riders and the tour made it personal. This all could have been avoided. I'm not in favor of Live at all, but now it's time for Jay to put his ego aside and get a deal done. The thing is that, again, PGA is not stopping any of them. That's the thing. I'm okay for competition where there's different leagues out there. Make it, lucrative for other players. But it's how they're going about it and how the players decided to willfully, freely decided to leave. Okay, they offered them millions of dollars. Okay, PGA said, fine, if you're gonna go, but you can't do this if you go. And then they suing PGA on top of it. No, this cannot be. Okay, I would like someone to explain how the two leagues can coexist. I'm serious. There will need to be concession on both sides, and I like to know what those are. And again, also the foundation of things, it's the backing of who? Okay, the government of Saudi Arabia is backing that, and they were the ones who with 9/11. Let's not forget that, the principle of things. Okay, easy. The PGA lift the you can't play anywhere in the world rule when a PGA event is on. It's that simple. They can still keep their event minimum but reduce to 11, 7 tour event, 4 majors to count. I'll drop the WGC event from the required event. Okay, and companies that sponsor tour event or television coverage, you think they go for that? Okay, yes, simply. Okay, like I said, I don't follow golf, but maybe now only with the litigation part I'll focus on. Great job, E. I am a lawyer. No antitrust on this face. A bit difficult to see how the players live or injured by the tour's action. The tour may not have played this right strategically, but the anti-competitive argument seems a stretch. Like I said, I'm not in the legal perspective thing, but I already saw. Yes, I agree with that, which means suspension from the tour. However, the tour is not stopping this play. Again, there's another good point that I brought up as well. The tour is not stopping these players playing at Live. There are no transfer fees or contracts to pay out. Okay, if Live wants to scale their players network, they can. They just can't return to the tour whenever they like. That's right. Okay, you said the PGA Tour guys will ultimately cover the tour's cost of defending itself, yet the tour was able to pump money for 8 new fall money event and 5 million more for next year's payout, showing that money have already been going to this non-profit membership. Well, I understand this one, but let's think about it. All right, when it's a business, you have to learn to save where you can. So when things don't go right, all right, when there's rainy season, then you could use your savings. So they can just pump out money, you know, or like that. But I understand this point. If they had the money to make it more attractive, I could understand. Let's see what thing here. The only certainty is that lawyers will earn more than many members of either tour. That won't mean much to the plaintiff for Liv, who are being bankrolled by a foreign government and have no personal skin in the game. Yeah, they don't really like the game. They just want to destroy what's already there. Save the reputation they have already squandered. It's considerably more personal for those on the other side who will ultimately cover the PGA Tour's costs and defending itself, a sentiment that will only sour further if a precedent is established that permits live players to compete the PGA Tour event as an antitrust case winds its way through the courts. And the other thing is, where is it? That will only saw if precedent established. But remember, the PGA, all right, have the right to run the way it wants to be run. So I don't see how they will rule against the PGA in some shape or form. All right, you decided to leave. PGA then throw you out. Okay, no way you can get your metaphor mojo on anywhere else like Lynch article. Good job. Okay, good God, it's good. All right, it's tough to remain pals with the roommate. I know. I know, this one was a good one. It's tough to remain pal with the roommate who moved to a sumptuous new mansion but returned to burglarize and touch the house you're still living in. Chef's kiss. Yeah, I saw it. That was pretty good. I like that. Okay, that was the exact quote I was going to highlight. Iman totally nailed it right there. Yep. Okay, I think they feel that way too, at least from some of the interviews I saw. Wonder if live players know or care that they may have made their relationship with many PGA players irreparable. Again, let's not forget 9/11. Okay, let's not forget 9/11. Okay, my guess they are saying things like, who needs friends when I have all this money? But money doesn't make people happy. That's the thing here. Okay, there's a world outside the US and existing tour outside the US, but they're weak. That's the thing here. Did PGA have any issue with them? I don't think so. Okay, you go play, but this one is on the scene to allow the rest of the world to see the best players. Bring it on. This is the thing. Yeah, competition, but the way those players going out. The thing is that PGA did not sue those players. PGA let them be, but they the one who decided, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna sue you after that, and then for making their own decision. Okay, this is what I truly dislike about this live business, the inevitable fracture amongst players. You think they care? This is what they're saying in the article. They have no skin for the player, for the game. They don't care about that. They just want to dismantle it. Okay, this game will exist for years and will shrink the game, not grow it. They don't care about the game. America holds the prestige, so they want to destroy it. We are at war, and our foundation, what holds America great, they destroying little at a time. Okay, it didn't need to though. They tried to work with PGA Tour and Jay wouldn't even meet with them. Come on. After 9/11, why would you want to do business with them? Oh my God, Americans are easily to forget. Why would you want to do business with this type of people? They attacked us, and then you want to do business with them? Oh my God, people are easily to forget. All right, will even meet with them, then threw his toes out of the orange band players. It's all on him. But I could understand the PGA because this is what I'm holding the Saudi against. 9/11. I could have been down there. Can you imagine this? You forget all of these people who died? I thought you guys said you will never forget. Wow. Some media has tried to create issues among players since early stages. Okay, the fracture among top players will not have been so deep or even that noticeable if not for the golf media lynched for one, along with Mohanen, who basically encouraged a war between sides. I guess he sees the thing. He then forget what happened in 9/11. Iman is okay. That was just my opinion. I don't know. Like I said, I don't follow golf. I don't know. I don't follow these people. Okay, Iman, it's always personal between the ropes. Lots of jealousy on the tour. I mean, you just have to show your skills. Okay, you've seen it. Hate saying this cause is repetitive. Do you really wanna get in the business? Bed with Saudis. That's the thing. Okay, paragraph like this or why I read every article about yours, Iman, equals this stuff. Okay, live compilation of conspiracy theories indicts everyone from PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan to Augusta National Chairman Fred Riley, and allege a concerted effort by Gulf powers that be to erect unfair barriers that prevent the rival league from gaining foothold. It's an audacious claim from operation that has already spent north of $1 billion as establishing itself, and whose CEO says has another couple billion to tap. For obvious reason, Liv's attorneys, their invoices bound for Riyadh, disregard the possibility that reasonable people might conclude independently of each other and without anti-competitive motivation that it's a bad idea to have elite golf owned by a regime that beheads, this is the thing here, that beheads its critics and threats human rights as inconveniences. That's spot on. This is it. He's spot on, and I think I raised that when I was reading the article. Iman Lynch, best golf writer in America, and it's not close on completely different. I need to follow him if I'm gonna be sharing some. Yep, I need to follow him if I need to share some of those what's going on. And okay, where is it? Follow. Okay, all right, now I'm following him. I saw that too. I saw that in the article. All right, let's go to the next tweet. If it's another article I'm not gonna read, I already passed an hour, or I'm exactly an hour now. Okay, I'm probably gonna edit it when I come back from vacation. Want some of the guys that miss out on the PGA Tour Top 125 exemption for next year get in when the next group ball for live. Okay, that's the live golf thing, invitational. Want you make a bunch more money on your next scam for fixing slices while you're still trying to get hired by 54. Okay, like Norman Hank is just another disgruntled PGA Tour guy. If he wasn't fired, do you think his opinion would be the same? Okay, I don't know who's that. Alright, honestly, how much more will Live pay to convince players to join their exhibition? The prices are only going up, and even if they succeed in converting some more, they will never be able to create any excitement about competition. That's the key thing again. Competition. If you're flooding people with money, where is the love of the competition here? Alright, you flooding people with money, they just show up, they're not even gonna try their best. By the way, what happened to the guy that fall out at Live? Okay, how do you fall out? No cuts. What is that? There is 48 spaces available. If they sign 6 more, then 6 have to go. What happened to them? Beheaded. That's the thing. This is why the PGA don't even want to talk to them. Okay, human right violation. Okay, beheaded, degraded to a notch. Okay, I think those spots should go to top amateur players, mainly from college. That's the word I was looking for. Amateur. Okay, they should start from at the bottom. Look at college levels, amateur players. Okay, not the top. But then again, those professionals should have known better. They should have known better, but that doesn't matter to them as long as it's money. Room for 48 players and currently have 82 guys signed. Where is anyone new going to play? Better yet, what about the guy that are already signed up? Like I said, they don't care about the game. They just want to burn bridges. That's all. Okay, FFS How many do you think are gonna bolt? It will be less than 5 that are even still irrelevant. Okay, less than 5. This Tom Kim guy that won today shows that these guys are all so talented. Any of the Van light it up any weekend. I think Live will be the Premier League in the future. They drop to the PGA when they don't qualify. All right, let's see here. Let's go to the next. There's more comment, but let's see. And this is my last one. I couldn't have less respect for Phil Mickelson, DeChambeau, and the rest of the Live golfers involved in this lawsuit. They want their cake and eat it too. And what about, quote, I want to play less golf and be home with my family, end quote. Ridiculous. That's the good one too. Yep. So you want to be home to play to be with your family. So when Live is not playing, go home. Go hang out with your kids. That's a very good point. So why do you want to play more? All right, so this is where they're gonna use their own words against them. Okay, good one. John Daly should sue Live for discrimination. They won't let him play. Okay, I don't know anything about that. All right. Wow. Okay, I'm done with what I wanted to share with you, but I see this going on here. Okay, Anne Hatchett in extremely critical condition, remained in a coma following a Fury car crash. And I saw something where her car was speeding. I don't know where I saw it, but okay, so she crashed. All right, I hope everything goes well. All right, that's all. That's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to help support this channel, there's a PayPal link in the description. You could donate. All right, so that's it. Thank you for your support and thank you for tuning in.